My proudest moment, giving birth to my 2 children.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could cry right now. Just how happy that makes a person feel. Well, you know, you're their dad, and just yeah, that's pretty special, you know. Well, let's see. With Stacy, she was born in Algona, Iowa,
Okay.
and her dad, Arnie, was down in Omaha at the air base, so he wasn't there. So my parents were with me. Um, and back then, you didn't have a baby and go home the next day, or even you know, you stayed a whole week in the hospital. Things you know, just like that. And then with Dean, we were at Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha. So I was in this military hospital in this big ward with a dozen other women having babies. That was quite a shock for a 19-year-old. And then I remember the nurses talking between themselves, and I heard them say about Dean, "That is the biggest baby I've ever seen. That's like an elephant." I was so crushed. Oh my gosh, that was hurtful, you know, because he was big.
How
you
big
know.
was he?
He was almost 12 pounds.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe it was. No, I'd have to look back to it. I don't remember that, but yeah, he was a big baby, and he was long, you know, tall. So those are kind of my remember moments of being in the hospital with the kids. But the hard moments, which you thought at the time are really hard moments, and then you look back now, and I think, oh, that was nothing. You know, I had a okay life, you know, decent life.
Yeah.
I should say happy life. I mean, there were years
Yeah.
that could have been better, but
Yeah.
still, they were good, you know. So I don't know what I can really say.
Yeah.
I think, you know, when I think back on my marriage to Ernie, when I got married, I married because I was sure I would make that marriage last.
Yeah.
Even though I knew there wasn't maybe a lot of love there, I wanted to make it last because I had a family, and I wanted to keep that family unit together.
Yeah.
And so you struggle knowing, is this right or not right? And I thought I was doing the right thing by, you know, staying together. And he probably did too. I'm sure he would have walked away sooner. So that was tough when we got divorced, for me anyway, because I just, even though the kids were out on their own, I didn't like the idea of going to their place, just me, you know, or, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then I met Larry, you know, a couple years later, and things were good, you know, and we had a good marriage, and we did lots of fun things, and yeah. So what turns out not so happy, turns happy,
Yeah.
you know.
What are some of the biggest changes that you've seen in your lifetime, right?
Well, of course, technology, of course, you know, but that, you know, when I was younger, just the little things that we took such joy in. Just going to the candy store, you know, with 3 or 4 pennies that Mom gave us. You know, if we went and got a loaf of bread at the grocery store down the street, you know, she'd always give us a couple pennies or something, and you could buy bubble gum or whatever, and that was like a joy to us. Yeah, things like that. And then over the years, there's a change in music, which I find really kind of hard, because my era, you could say every word to a song, where nowadays, I don't think that's true, but it's just my age.
Yeah.
But things like that, and the technology has just gotten so overwhelming to me as an older person that it's good, but I also find that it might defeat us someday.
Yeah.
For our older generation, it's hard for us to accept those kind of things unless you have that kind of mentality to begin with. Now, when everything is done online, it's hard. I mean, I'm not the only person my age or maybe even younger that goes, I don't know how to do this online. I don't want to know how to do this online. You know, so things like that, those changes, and they come so fast, it seems like. But it's maybe because I'm not a techie, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even hardly know how to use my phone, so, so what do I know?
Okay.
Well, the hopes for my children. Well, first of all, health, you know, big issue. But I want them to be happy. They're already successful.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't be more proud of my kids. I mean, I never thought my daughter would ever be in cooking or know how to cook anything. I mean, you know, all she accomplished in those years that they had the catering business and everything, and her business mind, yeah, she amazed me, and she's just, she's an overwhelming joy to be around always, you know, but she's accomplished so much, you know, so very proud of her. And Dean too, you know, he's been at his job now 25 plus years, and he's doing, you know, really well, and so very proud of him. He's very intelligent also, you know, so, and he's got a great interest in sports, which, you know, is good. Yeah, so I'm very proud of them. My grandson and my step-grandkids too, you know.
Yeah.
They, you know, you're all doing fairly well. Sure, we all want to do better. We're maybe not where we want to be just yet, but you will get there someday, you know. And very proud, you know. And just that they even care about me, you know, that's what I think, because I know some people, their grandkids, yeah, they don't get to see them or, you know, whatever. So I'm blessed with that, and so I would just wish them all the best in their years growing up, and hope they find an interest, something that they really have an interest in, whatever it might be, you know. And if they don't want to go to college, I'd say so be it. You know, not everybody's college material. We need the blue-collar workers too, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just wish them to be full of love for everybody and be respectful.
Yeah.
Know what it is to love and be loved back, and, you know, and don't expect it. A lot of things, because you can get along amazingly well with things that you can't have sometimes. So, any last words? I would just say, you know, life is good if we want it to be good. And I don't want to be morbid, but there's some satisfaction in knowing that you are going to pass away soon. You don't know how many days you have, and I don't want to know personally if it's tomorrow or if it's a year from tomorrow, you know. But for me, and that's probably somewhat because I'm a Christian, I feel I have a strong faith, that it's just a satisfaction knowing that I'm going to be okay, you know, because God's promised me this peaceful journey to eternity, and I'll be fine, and I know the loved ones that are left behind, you'll be fine too, you know. Your life will go on, and you'll have the memories that we've shared together, and I've done all I can do now, and, you know, life's good. You guys, you know, you have to make it better for yourself. Nobody can do it for you.
Yeah.
So, and you will. I just say, God bless you all, and I love everybody, you know. I wish I could give everybody a big hug, but I feel it from them, even though I don't see some of my friends all the time, but I have a lot of good support. So, and we will see each other again.